Oi, oi. Happy Monday, the 16th of November, 2020. Just here again on live stream, just setting a few things up. So, should really have this beforehand, shouldn't I? Before coming on live. But hey ho. So, what we got? So, we got the 12:30 at, I guess that's Leicester. Always abbreviates these for some reason. I know some of them, but yeah, that can't be anything else than Leicester or Leicestershire. So we've got 12:30, 11 minutes to the off. We've got a drifter on the favourite here. And, shit, let me just make sure this mic's working. Don't want to have a repeat of last time. Yeah, that is all working nicely. So we've got a drifter. This one's slightly coming in. This one's consolidated. Looks like there's some nice movement coming in the market. Reasonable amount matched. So this is nice and liquid to... This is primed to start trading. So 95 grand matched type book. First trade of the day. I did, if you see yesterday's, I did have a losing day yesterday. Started off, doing reasonably good trade. A few break evens, and then towards the end of the day, I gave back that profit. But that's the thing, as I said before, swings and roundabouts, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, in order to get to some kind of consistency. And at the moment, oh no, I'm there. At the moment, just using minimum stakes just to improve my strike rate before increasing position sizes. But yeah, let's start focusing on the market now. So we've got 2 very similar priced favourites here. So my these are going to inversely affect each other quite strongly in my estimation. So as one goes in, the other goes out. Looks like this one's on the drift. This one's coming in now. But yeah, it's just gonna take a few moments to observe here, get a heartbeat for the market. Just seeing this drift. Now, I'm seeing that drift, but I just don't want to jump on the back of it without paying attention for too long. So that's what I mean when I say getting the heartbeat of the market, getting the temperature of it, just acclimatizing to what's going on really before taking any action, because any rash action is likely to just go against me. So 9 minutes to off. What are we gonna do? Nothing until I feel the time is right. Excuse this squeaky chair. So this one looks like it's come into resistance at around 2.26, which could mean this falls away, moves lower. It's nearing the top of its range. So I'm looking for signs to potentially short this or back this, depending on what terminology you want to use. Back, short, bearish, all similar terms. Lay, buy, go long, bullish, all mean going in this direction. Doesn't matter what you say, it's all means the same thing as long as you understand it. That's what's important. So I am not seeing much that I can act on just yet. Other people may have differing opinions, but for me, I'm just holding tight just for now. especially with the first trade of the day. I haven't really had much of a chance to warm into it. 7 minutes to the off. It's the waiting game. So this has had a tendency to come in more now, looking at the chart. That's probably just pretty hard to see because of these charts, because it's not a like a logarithmic chart would make this more apparent, but I get the sense that that's drifting there, which corresponds to this coming in, but not doing anything just yet. 6 minutes. Next minute or so there should be more volume coming. I don't know if I'm a bit too close to the mic there. Let me just move that away a bit. So I mean, the most convincing move, I guess, would be a break of this this support here. So you can see these prices, it's not the lowest it's traded, but it's the biggest volume that it's been traded at. So a break of that would be convincing that this could move lower. And then this resistance here, these most traded levels, so break of that 2.26 to the upside would be some mosquito or fly or something just came in my face. A break of this resistance would be convincing to potentially go long on that or go short on this, but neither of those are happening.
This event will start in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Okay, so I'm going with this potentially moving short because it's come down, it's met support and it's broken it now. This hasn't moved. See, they're both coming in, which is counterintuitive, but hey ho, market doesn't always do what I think. So I'm thinking of partially exiting part of this position here. And then leaving in something for a bigger move. So I've got a net stake of 6, now down to 4. So I've taken some out of that position. So I'm looking for, I'm going to put another partial exit in here tentatively. So this has started to move up, which is good. And I am just waiting to manage this last position. So I've got two pounds left here. Just looking for the last to move this. Just looking for signs of reversal. So that would be money coming on this side, or a dramatic move on this side. Bloody hell! This is like a deja vu of yesterday's first trade. I've done, got a decent amount of ticks out of it, and then after that it kind of trades after that weren't that great. But this has continued to drift. This has continued to come in. Starting to see some movement. So I just want to protect this profit here. So I'm just ready to act with a closing trade. Just take a quick glance up, 3 minutes to the off. And this can be tricky because you're focusing on this, but you're at the corner of your eye, you're focusing on this, and then you've got to just be wary as well of the time as well. Quick glances at the charts. So your eyes can be darting around a bit. So that's why it's good not to have too many distractions, in my opinion. I mean, it depends how you work so I don't have any music on or anything like that because it just distracts me. Visually as well, I've got this set up in a way that I feel is has all the information that I need and all the tools that I need without distracting me too much. So it looks like it's been stagnating a bit, finding support around these levels. I'm just gonna, oh shit, see, I've let this run away a bit on me. A little bit too greedy. So I felt that it was stagnating. I could have, gave a little bit back there. But all in all, not bad. Not bad. I think could have exited a bit earlier in that once I saw that these prices were stagnating and starting to, there's money coming in there, and this was starting to move down as well. But yeah, out before the off, minute and a half to spare, and made some green as well. So on to the next one, and that is just almost exactly the same as yesterday's one, where the first trade was profitable with I think it was about 48p. Again, not thinking about the amount, you're thinking about the percentages returns really at the moment. So I'm using the minimum amount, which I would suggest to anyone new to this. Don't go in with all guns blazing if you've never done this, if you've never seen what a betting exchange is about, or never placed a trade before. I've done this, clicked on these buttons thousands of times, and I'm still using, I've put in big money, I've put in small money, and at the moment it's just going back to basics. Going back to basics. Don't be ashamed to do that. If something hasn't worked and you haven't seen results from it, reassess and see what you've done wrong, and work with the smallest amounts first of all, and then scale up. So, sorry, just a few technical issues going on. So we've got 15 minutes to the off, 66 grand matched. This is good. We got a favourite drifting around odds on twos. So finding, looks like it's been finding decent support around this 2 level, which is a psych level crossover point where it crosses from 2s into 1s. And the reason that's significant is these crossover points, it's just a psychological level. People like round numbers, 2s, 3s, 4s. So there's going to be more interaction at that level, whether that be a bounce and it move higher like it's doing now, or a break lower, where it reacts and moves aggressively lower. And you often see that around these psych levels, as I call them, psychological levels, or crossover points, or whatever you want to call them, prime numbers, whatever. Again, same but different. As long as you understand what's happening, don't need to know specific word or terminology just to sound smart or whatever. It's just whatever it means, as long as you can see it and act on it. That's what's important. So here, this is drifting, this is coming in, this is coming in. Looking to trade this one or potentially this one, leaving these alone. The reason for that is there's going to be more money matched on these. There's more liquidity, so makes it more maneuverable. Given I'm using smaller stakes now, but I'm trading as if I had a bigger stake in the market. Just so that the way that I'm trading now will scale up to when using bigger stakes. But we've seen some chunks of money coming. Look at that big chunk at 2s. Could push this up higher. So what I'll be looking for here is, I guess, a break of this support would help me feel more convinced that this could move higher, or potentially just short this, so back this as it moves down. We'll see if they can move that up to 202, because there was a... No, okay. I don't think it was a single order. but whoever it was, or they removed some of the money that was there. So yeah, you can see, I mean, if you use these percentages, what this does is taking the top 3 lay and back orders, and it gives it a percentage to give you the weight of the top 3. So this is saying that there's 70% of the weight of the book or on the lay side here at the moment, and 30% on the back side. What's going on there? Okay. But yeah, these crossover points. This is this supports is sustaining, but not making any decisions just yet. Still early doors in relative terms. 11 minutes to the off. And clicking on that just to reorder, just to see if there's anything that's persistently streamed in, so it would reorder the book here, because it will. There's what 6, 2, 4, 6, 7 selections in this. Can only see 4 at a time. The way I've got this set up. So sometimes there might be something that's drifting or coming in that will just reorder these. So clicking on this button will reorder this. Now I might just go for a short on this. This is starting to move, but I want to see a break on 6s here. You can see in the chart these previous highs here. That's the resistance that is just having trouble breaking through. So it's not moving any higher. If it were to break that, then what the likelihood is it will break aggressively and then pull back, and then probably find support off of that level. So support off of these like 2.1208. So it breaks and then comes back and then probably goes higher again. I just don't like the way it hasn't convincingly broken. It's almost like a fake breakout. So it's gone up, it's gone a little bit, but then it's pulled back. Oh shit, I'm not paying attention here. So yeah, going to short this because I've seen this break now, and this is still persisting higher. It's come back, it's found resistance off of 6s. Do I want to add to this? No, I'm going to keep this light. Until I see some more convincing movement. But you can see this is the inverse. This movement here is the opposite of this here. They're mirror images, as in taking the horizontal as a mirror. If you flip this over, you've basically got the same chart, but just in different directions. Just going to add to this. So as more evidence of it potentially moving lower is apparent, because I feel I'm at the top of this near the resistance, I've added to it. Of course, adding to the position increases the risk, which is something to always be aware of, but it also increases the profit potential. So I've put in a partial an order for a partial exit here to take out some of the profit if it gets hit. So at the corner of my eye, I'm just trying to keep an eye on this to make sure this is moving up still. 7 minutes 40 to the off. Reasonable position on the Q, so I'm hoping I get matched on this, which will then allow me to have a bigger, more wiggle room for a stop loss or break even. So this, you see, so that's got taken. So now for me to lose money, it's got to go up to basically 6s, which is resistance, which is a good reference point. So I don't really want to add to this anymore for now anyway. So this has started to come in, which saw that move up, but this is still moving down. It's going to put another tentative closing order in there. I'll put it just above 5s because, again, that concept of the crossover point, it being potential support as it reaches there. Whether it breaks or bounces, I've at least taken some money off prior to that. And that will bring my next stake down to 2 if it were to get hit. Just going to nudge this up a bit late. See, this is coming in. Three. 5 minutes to the off. So I think this was starting to drift out the corner of my eye. Oh, big chunk of money pushed this down, and now I'm potentially holding a losing position. So I'm just gonna thin this out. The next opportunity that I see, even there. So the dynamics of the market changed there, and
this event
I
will
just
start
don't like the way that money was persisting. So this has come. So you can see, at about 20-30p profit, but the market just completely reversed. There's a big chunk of money coming in back in the favourite, which has changed the dynamics from this being persistently coming into a drifter, and this from being drifting to coming in a steamer. So I had to act. So where my stop loss was placed was sensible because it was above this resistance, but it broke that resistance and has now moved higher. Now there may be a chance still to get it on the to still profit from this beyond the just over break even that I've got, but just need to be a bit patient and wait and see what might materialize. I'm also super cautious that now there's less time to maneuver. There is less time to maneuver, so any trade that I'd take now is more risky. Because the clock's ticking down. So this is broken 2s, come back, find a resistance off it, see if that holds. If this persists out and this starts to look like it's breaking 2s again, it might be worth just shorting this. But I'll have to go light because the time is ticking here. I mean, the other option is just to go on to the next trade, next market. But I'm just seeing what materializes here. I think any position I take now will just be trying to get back at the market, because I mean I could be angry the fact that, oh yeah, I was in 20, 30p, almost 40p profit, and whatever in terms of the return. Again, the percentage return would have been great, but then it's just taken that away from me. But the market giveth and the market taketh away. It's like, I can't be mad at that. It does what it does. I've just got to trade well around it, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy with the way this one's gone. It's not a loss. It's not a loss in terms of it's barely above break even in terms of the profit's going to come in. But I traded that well because I listened to what the market was doing and reacted to it. Wasn't impatient. So yeah, just want to do more trades like that, even if they're just break even, or even if they're losses. Even if that one was a loss, and I'd followed my logic through and had at least probability in my favour, that's happy days. Got to be happy with that. The objective is to trade well, not necessarily to, as counterintuitive as it sounds, not to make money, but to trade well. But let's see what else we've got. So this is the next one here. This is 1 o'clock. So we've got just over 15 minutes to the off. Bloody hell, that's a while off, isn't it? Let's just make sure that's the right one I've selected. It is indeed. So you'll find, at least at the beginning of the afternoon, the races are more spaced out. But as we get past 1 o'clock, it's probably going to be every 5 to 10 minutes. But here we've got the favourite here. Let me just reorder these just to make sure. Yeah, favourite here, twos has started to come in. It's steamed and it's found support. It's just consolidating now. Isn't really. There's a slight drift on it. There's a slight drift. The second favourite here has come in a bit more persistently, nearing the bottom of its range here. So at a cursory glance, I'd be thinking potentially to short this because we've seen lower lows, lower highs. The price has come in. This has drifted, so it's a seesaw action. As this comes in, that goes out. But it's waiting for the opportunity, really. Still 15 minutes to the off. Still relatively early doors. Shit ton of money matched for this time. Almost 90 grand. That's a good quality race. There's going to be liquidity. So just going to bring up the volume. I use this sometimes just as a visual clue if I'm not going to be constantly looking at the chart, because at the ladder. For me now, looking at ladder is all I need, because you can see the numbers when it gets to about 5 minutes before you're off. These are just going to start jumping around. But again, in terms of being able to look at all things at once, it isn't possible. So for me, this can be a good visual cue. It's something that I've set up just as a volume chart. You've got the volume in terms of the size here. So this is the price, and then obviously the frequency. What you want to see in a liquid market is these volume bars be nice and high. So above 200, being whatever matched every tick, and then for them to be very frequent as well. So that means you've got a liquid market in which you can trade. But as you can see at the moment, the amount's being matched 25 quid. Like, what's that? About 20 quid. Not very much and not very frequent. So let it be. Leave it until there's more activity coming in. But yeah, the reason I have this is it means I can look at other screens and just have this out the corner of my eye and be ready for that. Know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to walk away, know when to run. Hold your money. Just looking off screen at the moment, in case you're wondering. Do 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 do. Right. So know when to hold 'em. Okay, so nearer to the off now. 2 minutes. Sorry, 11 minutes to go. This has started to more visibly drift on the charts. But no, although there's a lot being matched, there's not much money like moving at the moment. Well, we can see that. You can see how this is starting to jump around a bit more, which is what we want to see. And like I said, like you could use that if you're new to the markets, then you're having trouble understanding when volumes starting to appear. You could use this as a visual cue. You can only see one selection at a time though, so when clicking on this, it's showing the volume for this selection, not the entire market. So this selection is the volume that's being represented. So obviously something like this. Oh, hang on, what's going on? Maybe it is the entire market. No, it isn't. So yeah, one of these odds that are further out, then when you click on it, then even in more liquid times overall for the market, there might only just be a few patchy ones at very small amounts because they're such high odds. This is the amount of volume that's been matched on each selection that I have underneath. You can see this is only 14 grand compared to 41 grand on the favorite. So there's going to be more money here. More money means with bigger stakes, the market's going to be able to absorb your orders with more ease. So persisting top of its range. I get the feel this is going to continue to drift, but I'm not ready to act on that just yet. 8 minutes 45 seconds till the off. Just have a quick reorder in case anything's changed. No, all good. So this has had resistance around this level, this 2.8, 2.9. This could be a higher low in terms of this downtrend, if you like. So the next move could be this impulse move down. Or it could be the context of a higher low. So if this comes back and then moves higher and the impulse is upwards, then this would then become the higher low on this chart here as it moves and creates new higher highs and higher lows. Starting to think that laying this might have been the better option, but this is coming in. Well, it has potential to come in. Hitting fives. Okay, didn't realise that before. Maybe that could be decent resistance. Alright, I'm gonna tentatively enter this in the anticipation that this fives is going to be resistance, and this is going to persist to move out, and can potentially just going to thin this a bit. So just remove some of the position there. I need to add it back because this has started to persist out. There was a bit more money coming in on that side. Let's just see if anything else is. These are starting to drift as well. This one's coming in. Oh, big chunk of money there. Fucking hell. Just playing this slightly cautious. I have got a position in here. It's relatively light. And it has started to move down. I've only got one position to move to. Oh, hang on. Let's get on that action. This has started to move. This has started to move down. Got an order in here. Hopefully that will get matched. 5 minutes to the off. Just looking at this money coming in here. It's not going to help my position. But I've got so just going to move this up. Oh shit, didn't want to do that. I wanted to move it to the next odd there. Bollocks. But hey ho. Oh, that's coming in a lot. So here started to go into a loss here, which would have been worse had I had a bigger position. Obviously I've only got net of 2 here, so it's just being cautious of basically positioning yourself according to what you feel the market's going to do. If there had been a clear signs that this could move lower, then I'd be heavier in terms of position size on this. But at the moment I'm not as sure, especially the way this is erratically, you know, bouncing up and down. It means I've got a lighter position. Only 4 minutes to the off as well. Here's what I'm going to do. Put in this to hopefully take a few ticks, but also be wary that I might need to take a loss on this or break even. So I'm just willing to do whatever the market allows me to do. This is moving in again, which is likely going to push this out. So sorry, just concentrating here. So my main focus is on this, but at the corner of my eye I'm just looking at what this is doing, whether it's you know, coming in persistently or not. Again, may need to take a loss on it. 2 minutes to the off. I think I'll not really panicking because there's still enough time to potentially reduce a loss or break even. And I'm just going to cut my losses there. Red up, and you can see fundamentally the dynamic of this chart has completely changed. Whereas before came in, was looking at its steam coming in, and it found support at those levels and then went off in an uptrend. I would have got matched in that if I'd held out for a bit longer. I would have broken even, hit profit target. But yeah, the market does what it does. I didn't know that. I just had to act accordingly. Oh, hi Weppy TV. Hi there. So this one is a loss. I've read it up. 28p, 26p loss. Had profit on the day. It's another small profit. And here we are. So we've got a 3-horse race, which is pretty rare. Weppy TV, you're asking me what I'm doing. I'm trading horse races like they are financial markets. So Betfair is a website where you can basically bet on horses, but not in a traditional sense where you just bet outright on an outcome of the horse winning. You can also act like the bookmaker. So what I'm doing is trading that basically by backing and laying and then making money in between. And regardless of what horse wins, I would make money overall or lose money sometimes, as you saw in that last one. That's the essence of it. So this one is way off from start here. 20 minutes. It is pretty confusing. Sorry. Yeah. So just asking, am I making a lot of money doing it? Currently, no. What I'm doing, the purpose of these videos is really just to practice. So I'm using very small amounts of money to start with the idea of increasing that money once I've been able to prove that it works with low amounts of money. But come kind of like from a financial background, trading other markets like stocks or forex. So just using, because markets are very similar, just using that same kind of experience in these just to get a feel for these. So hopefully in the long run, yes, we'll make money off of it, but that's not really objective at the moment. It's just to trade well. So the thing with these markets as well, the way to trade these is really, or the way that I trade these, is to wait for the activity to come into the market before trading. And 20 minutes before, or 18 minutes, it's still early doors really in these type of markets. Most of the money comes in and makes it tradable about 5 to 10 minutes before the off, so still some time to go. So it's a bit of a waiting game, but that's the reality of trading any market. It can be boring as fuck, so you got to be patient really. Otherwise, if you look to do something too soon, you're going to lose money. But yeah, that's the idea here, just so everyone can see warts and all what it's about. It's not about, if you ever seen all the, you can make a massive income within a month. It's bullshit. A lot of this is hard work and patience. Just having a quick look off screen, so excuse any pauses. Fruit Shoot 82, appreciate the follow. Thank you very much. I think you're my first follower. That's very much appreciated. Look to do this pretty much every day for a couple of hours. So if you're new to this, good opportunity to just ask questions, or I'm happy to help any way I can. Predominantly this is really just for me, just so I've got a record of what I'm doing, just vocalizing my streamer thoughts, so I can look back on these and improve going forward. So it takes out a lot of the guesswork when it comes to what's gone right or what's gone wrong with trading, if you've recorded it and you've got what you were thinking at the time. But if it helps other people, hey, awesome. Weppy TV, thank you too, appreciate the follow. So we have got 16 minutes to the off, so there might be some more volume coming in relatively soon. We've got what's called an odds-on favourite, so odds-on when it's less than twos. Typically there's going to be more money matched on these types of horses. So we've got 44 grand matched so far, which is reasonable amount for this time before the off. So this one has come in, so this is steaming, it's called steaming. It's come in, it's found support. So support is a price where support is a level where the price fails to go any lower. So when it hits that kind of level, it can bounce and move higher, or it can break and move lower. Weppy TV, Weppy TV just asking, do you work in this sort of field? I have done. I've been not directly in like horse. I don't know anything about horses. Like, barely know what the head and the tail is. And that's about it. But I have worked in financial markets before. I've been a stockbroker in a past life, so I understand how order books work, which effectively this is. So if you ever heard in the financial markets an order book or level 2 data, market depth, it's exactly the same as this. It's just, I think some people just turn their nose up at this because they hear, betting, horses, whatever. But it's not really, I'm not betting on any particular outcome. So I'm not like out and out saying, this horse is going to win. I don't care what outcome wins, because all of my decisions are made before the actual off of the race. Yes, I have worked in like financial markets and have a good idea of technical analysis and order books, but this is slightly different to financial markets, but very similar in the same way. Same but different. Does not having a fixed income stress me out? I do other things for income. This isn't my full-time job. If I was using I would say, if you're looking to do this, firstly make sure that you have the income either savings put aside so that you can focus on this for a good few months to see if it's a good fit for you, or just have other sources of income. Otherwise, if I was relying on this for my main source of income right now, then it would stress the fuck out of me, and I have done that before, and that's been one of my mistakes. When I initially kind of went into this many years ago, I was thinking, right, this is going to be my income, and it just puts stress on you, puts stress on your decisions. So yeah, I would highly suggest against I'd start small is my advice. So we're seeing some activity here. Just going to focus on this. So this is broken that support. Typically when it breaks supports, especially this 2 level, there's a tendency for it to move very strongly. So I'm just going to stop jibber jabbering for a moment, just to get a heartbeat for what's going on in the market here. Okay, I'm gonna tentatively take a position here. So I'm shorting this, so my anticipation is that the price is going to move down. The reason I've done that is because there's big chunks of money coming through, which is going to cause pressure and push this lower. Also, at the corner of my eye, I'm seeing this drift out. So as one moves in, they're inversely related. As one moves in, the other moves out. Fuck's going on with that? So we've got I don't know what's happened to my setup here. It's all gone weird. Ugh. All right, leave that for now. But I'm just looking for this, for signs that this is going to continue to move down potentially. This has continued to drift. That's good. But one thing I wasn't aware of, this was coming in. I can't look at everything at the same time. But this has started to come in, which is going to affect this position badly as it's going to move out. But I'm not panicking yet, just holding fire for now. So 10 minutes tee off, and it's unusual to see this type of activity this far from the off, but this is a high quality race, so there's a bit more money. I mean, there's like and I've messed up my my order somehow. It's still like 10 minutes tee off, and it's all jumping. You can see the amount of money coming in and the frequency of it. This drift is helpful. Let's continue to move up, but it's having trouble. Can you see how it's finding support around this tooth? So support is this floor that it has. It's not really wanting to move much lower than. And you can see these here, the volume that's been matched at this 28 grand, 24 grand compared to the rest here. It's only a few grand. So it's having trouble moving much lower than that. So if it were to break this, then it's likely going to be an aggressive, fast move much lower, but at the same time it could just bounce, and you can see the money's building up. So it's, the weight of the money hopefully is going to push this lower, but really to see that, these others would need to drift as well, so these would need to move out. Not seeing that yet. Still 9 minutes to the off, which is helpful because obviously the more time I have, the more if something goes wrong, the more opportunity I have to fix it. But yeah, it's really just trying to get on the right side of the trade as early as possible. Just gives you more options. So again, let me just stop yammering away here. This could bounce off of twos. This is drifting. This has come in. This is stagnating now. So this is finding support too. At around these 2.45, which could mean it now reverses and moves higher. But who knows? I don't know. I'm just trying to create a story around what I think will happen and position myself. 8 minutes to the off. Let's move this across here. There we go. It really has become very stagnated. Where PTV, is this fun? Yeah, it can be. Definitely. Depends depends how you define fun. I mean, a lot of this, as you might have seen, is can be just sitting around, and not trading can often be the best decision. Not trading can be trading. So deciding not to take a position just for the sake of it is part and parcel. But I'm not really looking for, like, I think if you've got the mentality of, oh, this is going to be like fun and exciting and looking for thrills, that's not really, to be honest, it's not really the best mentality to have coming into this. Because if you're looking for thrills, then that's like gambling. Betting is, and that's fine if you want to go and bet and gamble, have money put aside for that. But that's not really what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to make a potential income off of this. So it just needs to be a bit more, like, I don't know, business-like in that approach. So I get enjoyment from it. Some people definitely won't, in terms of trading the way that I do. I guess if that's the case for you, then just find a way that trading that suits you, or don't do it. So at twos, we've got this chunk of money, looking for that to hopefully get matched and break lower. So I'm happy with my positioning on this. In fact, what I'm going to do is put a tentative closing order in, so that if the market does shoot down suddenly, at least I can take off some of that position. This has started to move out, I think, out the corner of my eye, drift. See, it's failed again. It's failed to break twos. And 5 minutes to the off, and it's still found support at twos. Maybe I should thin this out. Who knows? And this is starting to come in. So I'm just going to thin this position out. What I mean by thinning it out is taking some of the money off. You see, I've got a net
This event
stake.
will start in 5 minutes.
I've got a net stake of £6 on this. So what I'm doing is reducing that position size, because my confidence in it breaking lower is not as great as before, because we're running out of time. And it hasn't made a convincing move in a very long time. It's just been very range bound. It's basically just traded between, 2.06 and 2.98, which isn't a lot of movement. So that means I'm less sure of what it will do, and so I need to act accordingly, which is to not risk as much. I may or may not have the opportunity to reduce that position size, because I don't know what the market's going to do. I have a theory around what it could do, but it is a waiting game. 3 minutes to the off. And the money is building on this side. Right. So just reduce my position size there to 4 now. So I am carrying a loss on this. But that was just because, again, time's ticking down, and there's a lot more signs that this could potentially, reverse or just move higher to make my position worse. But it's not. One of the things that I guess I used to do starting out was just chase the movements just on a one selection, and that shit will drive you crazy, and it's a good way to lose money quick. I mean, overall in this, what I've done, 1, 2, 3, 4 trades. Which in the early days that might be, oh, it's going up, buy it. It's going down, oh shit, sell it. So there's a lot less of that now. Just a bit more patient around what could happen. Two minutes to the off. And by no means am I an expert at this. I know more than most, but yeah, if I was an expert, I'd be on this full time. Or making a full-time, I should say, a full-time income off of this, but I'm not. So no, definitely still a novice. So this is drifting out. That's good. That's aggressively moving out. I need some more pressure to come on this side. Only 1 minute 30. And you'll find as well, especially as it gets nearer to the off, there's going to be more erratic movements, which is why I'm kind of keeping this position in here, because there's a chance that in the final seconds it breaks twos and I get hit on that, I get filled. But who knows how that story is going to pan out.
This event will start in 60 seconds.
1 minute to the off. So I'm just preparing. One thing I definitely don't want to do is have this go in running, which is when you can still place bets when the market's kind of started. So I bring up the video just so I can potentially time an exit. Oh god, I haven't been looking at this properly.
This event starts in 30 seconds. In 30 seconds.
So 14 seconds till the
10
off.
seconds.
But I've got pictures up.
So the runners are in the vicinity of the start.
You might be able to hear.
Frankie de Burle, Eva Money, Black Calanisi and Smith's Bay both at 5-2.
Okay. Chalked up another loss. Just going to red that up. So that means basically if I were to just leave it on this one horse that I was trading, there's 3 in total, it would mean that I'd lose 70p on this and then 0 on the others. But I'm just trying to average everything out. So rather than risk potentially lose 70 and then not on others, nothing on others, I'm going to just spread that loss across all the outcomes. So that means overall I will 100% lose 33p. So
this event is now in play.
So you can see it's just gone in play. So sorry, just looking off screen for a sec. So, back to business. So we've got 1:30, 9 minutes. What's that? 9 minutes to the off. Sorry, still trying to get used to this bloody Twitch thing. So just gonna try refreshing that. All right, so we've got 8 minutes to the off. Just reorder these just in case. There we go. We've had a steamer. So we've got this This one's coming in, this one's drifting, this one's a bit more choppy, consolidating, broken support recently. Two very similar priced favourites. This one looks like it's coming in, this one's drifting, so I'd be favouring to short this, but just waiting a few moments just to get a heartbeat for what's going on before active. This looks like it's been a reasonable area of support, so I'm just wary of that. If I sell into that, if I sell into that, that's there's some possibility that it will bounce because it's been such a strong level of support. So I'm just trying to get a heartbeat first of all, just to see whether it's worth shorting that. I'm going to put a minimum stake in that, which I might add to if it's confirmed, but I've seen this starting to move out and this moving in. Although it hasn't broken that support, it's still worth putting, you know, I feel a position in there. I'm just not going in heavy now. If it were to break it or show better signs of potentially moving down, then I may add to it, but for now just gonna wait. Really, 6 minutes to go. I don't know what I've done with this. It's just that's the thing, you need to know. I somehow rearranged the order of these, and especially when you've got a lot of things going on, it's just helpful to know where everything is on the screen, because you need to avert like my gaze to a lot of things very quickly, so I need to know where they are. So I'm looking at this one as my main one that I'm trading. I'm going to add to that, he says as it moves off. I'm looking at this one as the main one I'm trading, as well as the second favourite, as well as these ones potentially to drift at the corner of my eyes. So yeah, when you set stuff up, just know where it is, so that you can you know, look at it quickly at a glance. Ugh. That's annoying.
This event will start in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
So what's going on? This has started to, it's finding resistance still maintaining a short on this. I wouldn't be adverse to scratching this if I think as well. I'm going to look back on there's lots of money coming in on that. I'm just going to lighten this slightly if it will let me. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking over rewatching my video from earlier today. See how I could have traded that better. I think maybe cutting losses a bit earlier would have been a better approach, but yeah, hindsight's 20/20. I don't know what the market's going to do until it does it. So here I'm just trying to lighten this position because I'm not as convinced this is going to move lower. So that will bring my net stake down to 2, and I've put a closing position for now at just above 4s, because I feel that it could find support as it moves into 4s. But this is starting to drift slightly. Let's see if there's anything else which is going to help this position. You can see my order. What I like about this software now is you've got the estimated position. So it says that I'm £63 has to go from this before I'm likely to get matched. It is an estimate, but it's, you know, in a fast moving market, that's reasonably accurate. Oh, so what's going on? It's like this one's coming in. So I've been matched there on that partial exit, so that's giving me a bit more breathing room in terms of where my break even is and not risking as much. But but I'm willing to re-enter now because I've seen that move aggressively out. And this has hit support at 6s, or potentially hit support. So that's the reason I increased that position size. I am going to just try and steal a few ticks on it though, rather than go for a bigger move. Oh, and that has gone against me. So I'm gonna try and act a bit quicker than I did on the last one. So I did see a lot of the loss increase over time on that, but I'm moving this to break even, at least on the initial position. So I'm waiting for this to come in, which it may or may not do. Only a minute to go.
This event will start in 60 seconds. 60 seconds.
Must admit, my concentration today hasn't been great. And I can't blame. I mean, it's not blame. Can't blame the market for that.
Seconds.
It's down to the individual. You've got to just take responsibility for that. So, I mean, the things that I could do is just stop trading, or
10 seconds.
Focus more. But what is good is, yeah, I'm making losses on these. Yeah, could be reading the market better. But hang on, where's my hedge button? Bloody hell. Oh, so stupid. Right, I want that there, that there. What I'm happy about doing this, I'm happy to continue taking losses, because it is, in this game, it's a few steps forward and then one step back. Yeah, I mean, if
this event is now in play,
I'm happy to be the guy who, just if you get happiness from my losses, great. It means you haven't had to do it, fine. But yeah, it's not about taking big liabilities in play, big losses. That's what fucks you up in the long run. I mean, you might have a bad day or two, but if you look back on what you've done wrong, then at least you've got some sort of a path to how you can improve. So yeah, if there's anything that's useful that you find in this, great. Like I said, it is mainly for me, but if other people find it useful, wonderful. C'est magnifique. Wow, that is a long time till the off. So it's 18 minutes. Yeah, so foot shoot 82. Yeah, definitely. I'll have a look at your message that you sent, and I will get back with a reply. I must admit, I am the worst multitasker you will ever see. So I think that might be part of the problem today. I'm kind of distracted a bit by looking at the Twitch and then looking at stuff. But 100%, I'll get back to you via message, unless I can read it over now if you want, and then answer whilst I'm online. over the thing. But if you want in private, I'm happy to do that as well. Just holla, let me know. So what we got? 17 minutes to off. That is still a long way, but let's just see what's going on. Oh, okay, cool. You read. Yeah, we've got some time to go to off. I will read it now and I'll answer over the stream. Steve, I must admit, I'm the only guy. So you've mentioned this guy, Steve Howe. I'm not familiar with him. I'm familiar with in this game. There's only two people that I've really. Peter Webb is like the guy that I just look at and have looked at over the years. The other guy, what's his name? Kane Berry. I've seen some of his stuff. Those are the guys that I've looked at really. Mainly because I know with Peter Webb specifically, he produces this software. It's just his approach really. He doesn't hide anything. He demonstrates how he gets to his success, and that's really what you want to see in any of the so-called gurus. You want to see their success, not just them talking about it or giving screenshots that may or may not have been doctored. You want to see hard proof that they're in the markets trading it, and not just cherry-picked examples, but them consistently doing it. Day hours, my work. Yeah, happy to. If you again, I'm sorry, just read. I didn't read the whole of the message yet. If message me up. I'm happy to help with review. As I said, I'm by no means an expert at this. I'm just a novice. I know a bit more than most. But yeah, if you want to do that, that's no problem. I'll my Skype is I need to reactivate my Skype. But yeah, cool. I'll send you deets after session. Happy to help in any way I can. But again, I am by no means purport to be a guru or a know-it-all at this. So I'm can help in any way I can. I'll do my best at that. So what we got? 14 minutes to the off. 14 and a half minutes. Still not much volume come through. Very stagnant. Easy way to lose money. Just looking for shit to do. Looking for stuff to do that isn't there. So seen this very rangy. It's a channel, so it goes into support, bounces off support, goes up, hits resistance, falls away, and just oscillates between support and resistance. You can trade that kind of thing. So you'd basically short the resistance as it goes into the top, look to sell the market so it moves down, and then basically buy it back before it hits the support. But I prefer to see something with a trend like this. So this is more. You've just got more things in your favor by trading a trend. Trading a trend. Say that 10 times. Trading a trend. Trading a trend. So it looks like it might be breaking out. No, actually, it's hitting support. It's not broken out. And especially if I find my concentration waning, then I'm not adverse to just calling it a day as well. Much of this is just about knowing yourself. So there is pressure building up on this side. Potentially moving lower. This is drifting. Right, going to short on this. So entered the position on this because I'm seeing this come in. Isn't apparent on the chart as yet because there is a refresh on it, but I think it's broken that previous support. And this was starting to drift as well. So there's a good context for the trade. Put a tentative close in or fives. I'm going to put it in just above fives as a partial exit. Looking at this money coming in here, which should help my position over here to move down at least a few ticks. 11 minutes to the off, so we are still quite a way out. Now at this point, what's my assessment? It's come up, it's hitting, it looks like it's broken. It was hitting resistance at sixes. If it goes much further through that, that is a problem. But it's nothing to worry about just yet. Need something else to drift really. Oh crap. Okay, so it looks like this one has come to the second favorite now since I've reordered these. Just going to thin this a bit because I'm seeing some erratic moves on here, which is pushing this price lower and will push this higher. And I may okay, so just going to recompose myself a bit there. So I've taken out that position because it wasn't doing what I expected. It's broken resistance here. Just while I'm chatting away on that, it's broken resistance. It's moved higher. It started to make a new highs, so it wasn't doing what I expected. This was coming in, and I have shifted to this one rather than laying this one. There are a few reasons, but I mean it's because it's broken sixes is one. I prefer to back and then lay, just in terms of the potential profit as well. And I just, when it's broken sixes, there's more, it's just more likelihood of a more violent move after it's, or a more aggressive move in a desired direction after it's broken a crossover. But that is all just speculation. It's a conjecture until it actually happens. But I'm okay with this position at the moment. This is finding support at sixes now. So this is that new higher low in terms of there. So it could move off and move higher. And this is finding resistance at sixes. So it could produce a lower high and then move lower. But yeah, it's just waiting to see what happens. 8 minutes to the off. Just notice this out the corner of my eye coming in. Just put my second kind of closing order in there. It's just in case the market all of a sudden a big chunk of money comes, takes everything out. At least I'll get a decent fill. But I may cancel it depending on what happens and how fast it happens. Hmm. 7 minutes. 7 Minuten. 7 Minuten. Now, it would need to make new lows to reach my profit targets, but I'm not perturbed by that. You see my partial exit here is just, it's basically with the lowest that it's gone so far. But yeah, that's got no meaning really. This here still finding support, which gives a good context to the trade as it may start to drift. What did I... So yeah, if I'd been holding on to that, I'd still be losing money at the moment. But that's not really the way to look at it. That's kind of, it's in the past now. Need to focus on what's happening here. Chunks of money coming in, which is good. Still finding support sixes, which is good. Tempted to add to this, which I have, and just steal a tick rather than waiting for a bigger move. That money has now evaporated at those higher prices there, but I'm okay with the position I have on this. So stole a tick there, which has allowed me to have a bit more wiggle room on where my stop is, or break even. 5 minutes to the off.
This event will start in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Let's have a peek at what else has been happening here. This looks like it's overtaken as a favourite, as this price has persisted in. This still hasn't really done anything. You can see how it's consolidated over a period of time. I get a feeling, as I said before, that this would probably look more like it's come in, but because it's not a logarithmic chart where it kind of gives equal weighting to the moves, it looks like it's just been flat. But I think zooming in, that would look like a downtrend or a downward move. But it looks like I could get filled on this partial exit here. It touched it, but it didn't take it. It was only £100 matched at that so far. This has continued to steam, which is not helping this position. 4 minutes to the off. Just going to play a bit more conservative, move up this position just to see if I can get taken out at a partial exit, giving me a bit more of a wiggle room with the stop loss or break even, and then leaving in remaining £2 for a potential bigger move. Three minutes to the off, 3.5. Fact. It's a bit sticky, isn't it? And by sticky, I mean it's like, ideally you want to put the order in there and it be taken relatively soon. But you can see how long it took to get matched there. Okay, so I've just exited that position. Oh, I forgot about that loss on there. I could have left that in. No, overall I'm happy with that. I mean, basically, remember at the beginning I took losses on this one. Was able to get some green on this one. Just decided to take that order out a bit earlier than the others because it's just really sticky and time was ticking down. It hadn't made any discerning moves in terms of trend. So I decided to green up on that, and I've got red on that, which overall means that there's a loss position of 10 massive pence. But again, it's not about the numbers here, it's about the percentages. Don't have a staking plan at the moment, just using flat £2 stakes across the board. And if you are new to this, I would certainly say that's the best way to start out as well. Start small and scale up. Alrighty, 10 minutes the off on this one. And what we got? Another odds-on favourite that's been coming in, but it's been a bit choppy and retraced recently. Looks like it's finding some resistance. But overall, I'd say the movement on that has been down. How much have we got matched? Oh. Got to find out what I'd done with. Oh, that's how I think. Okay. Sorry, just trying to sort out. I don't know what I'd done with this, but basically this here is 92 grand matched with 10 minutes the off, which is really good liquidity, really good quality market to work with. So I've said the favourites coming in. The second favourite is drifting. Looks like they're quite similarly, like inversely correlated. So this chart is like the opposite of that one if you were to flip it horizontally. Don't know what it is, just something doesn't feel the same as on this setup. I'll need to look into what it was from older videos in terms of these bars that can float. But yammering away, and there's movement in the market here, so just gonna take a moment to see what's going on. Persistent money coming in on this favourite here. Looks like it's broke. The chart's going to lag, but it looks like it's broken support. This is continuing to drift. I might just be late on this. Can wait for a pullback. Price never generally moves in one direction, one straight line. So if this bearishness, if this downward move, steaming continues, then it's a good likelihood it's going to pull back before then moving lower. Okay, I'm seeing this move. I've seen erratic moves on that, which led me to take a position to the short side on this favourite. Not sure what happened. I think my stream went out for a few seconds there. But yeah, still in that position. Not sure. Again, I'm still getting used to this Twitch thing. But I just got the message that the streaming stopped, but back up and running again. So yeah, so and that's just messed up my concentration a bit as well. But this move has persisted down here still. got a relatively heavy position, £6 heavy. But yeah, this is looking to take a partial exit on this, as this has persisted to drift. Just going to move that up, not be too greedy on this. Let's continue to move. So this moving out is beneficial to my position. Just got matched on a partial exit there. £4 remaining stake. So how long we got? 6 minutes to the off. So can't be too greedy on this. I'm just looking for signs of stagnation in the market. So I've taken that second partial exit out because I felt that it was hitting resistance here. Also looking at the charts, look, this was previous high. Hang on, let me just focus on this. Yeah, it's tricky stuff. I mean, although I'm trying to vocalize my stream of thought, it can be tricky stuff to talk and trade at the same time, because a lot of time it happens quicker than I can explain it. So looking for signs of, I'm going to keep this order in here because it's got good position and it would make me flat on the market. So I'm looking for signs of reversal.
This event will start in 5 minutes.
Signs of reversal would be more money
minutes.
coming in here or more coming in on this side, or a dramatic move downwards from that side. Just going to play it conservative. So this was, there was some pressure coming from this side, which indicate there could be some retrace or even a reversal on this. So I just exited the position there. Because these odds are so short, it means each tick is going to be worth less, which is why this, because I'm using fixed stakes of £2, it means that the overall, although the amount of ticks I got was probably greater than most of the other positions I took, each tick is worth less, so it means that there's a less profit to spread across. But yeah, that's where the staking plan, that's the next level up, really, is a more, once I can show some consistency in terms of a strike rate, so how many trades that I win, not the amount I'm focusing on, but how frequently I can win, then that would allow for, you know, a better staking strategy, which would involve a bigger bank size and bigger kind of stakes across different odds. But yeah, a little way off that yet. So let's have a look. Sorry, I think there's problems with my stream keeping dropping in and out, so don't know. Hopefully that's not too much of a problem. But what we got here, so this is the same bloody race, isn't it? Just gonna refresh this, and so 2 o'clock, 2:10. So going past 2, it looks like the races come every 5 or 10 minutes. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So we've got 2:10, 7 furlong race, 12 minutes to the off. Looks like the favourite has come in, streamed, found support around this level. In the markets, financial markets, that's probably count as a double bottom, which is a reversal sign. But yeah, don't read too much into technical analysis. But that's yeah, it's just an observation. This one here has been overall, looks like it's been drifting, but it's coming in either on a retrace or a complete reversal. That's all I'm going to take from that at the moment. I'm just going to look for opportunity to potentially enter position. Just looking off screen now as well, just to see what the damage has been today. So down about 56 pence. Not accounting for the most recent trade. So just to recap, in case, so started today 12.35 start, 29p profit, then 5p profit, then 26p loss, then a 33p loss, then a 32p loss, and I think there's still some waiting to be settled. But I think it was like another 10p loss and then another 10p win. So it swings and roundabouts. You can see, I mean, judging by that, yeah, started the day well, and then it's 3 consecutive losses, but I'm not really perturbed by that. Not really. Excuse me, one sec. Not perturbed by that because I know, you know, there's a I've kept everything in relation to each other. There's small wins, small losses. It's nothing that can't be fixed over time. What would worry me more are just massive swings where, you know, making massive losses, and then that just damages capital, damages the ability to trade more. So although they're losses, live to trade another day, fortunately. So can't complain about that. Right, let's have a look. We have got nine minutes to the off. Very high odds on these. These ones, that is. So these are gonna affect movements, and these are gonna affect the book less than something like this, because this is the higher the kind of well, the lower the odds, the higher probability it has of winning. So if you look on the Dutching or bookmaking page, whatever, you can see that this first one here has makes up about 27% of the book. So 20% of the 27% of the probability is attributed to this selection, whereas you go to something like this, it's only 10% of the book. Same with that, 10%. So yeah, it's just worth bearing that in mind. The higher the odds, the less effect it has on the book. The lower the odds, the more effect it should have on the book, I should say. And it's all about this as well. So this shows the I call it the VIG, like how much theoretically, if you covered everything in the book, how much profit you would have. So if you backed every single out, if you're a bookmaker and you'd laid all of the odds, you'd be making about 1%, 1.5% profit overall. So in a very efficient market, that's going to be nearer to 100%. So looks like this is so we've got two drifters, or at least in the most recent price action. Looks like that's drifted and that's drifted. Well, that, yeah, it's impossible. Something drifts, something else has to come in. But it looks like that's a pullback. These these charts piss me off so much because they don't have the flexibility that I want from them. But hey-o. Okay. I'm going to tentatively short this because this is at the top of its range. I'm seeing the price move here of what I'm deeming is resistance. Going to keep it nice and light. Put a tentative closing order in there. It's building up. Hmm. 6 minutes to the off. There's not much movement elsewhere, which is worrying. Okay, I'm gonna take both of these orders out at the same price. I'd anticipate that half of that should get matched first before the other half. Fuck. Maybe that's not the case when you do that. Maybe it aggregates them. Still learning this shit myself. And this is going off. So I was right at the timing that I really wanted to get out of that because it was just stagnating like crazy. But now it's started to put in higher highs. It's broken resistance, moved higher. Something just feels off about this market. Maybe it's this coming in.
This event will start in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
So, some erratic moves on this, but I've got my my exit here at what I deem to be a sensible level to potentially get out. Got time on my side at least. In fact, here's what I'm going to do. Move it to just over break even. Just to take a conservative approach to this. Because the context of this has changed. Whereas before, I was happy to get in on the premise of this. Hang on. Let me just concentrate here. Could have stayed in that longer, but woulda, coulda, shoulda. Now, you know, I'm tempted just to get on this again, but I've missed the move. I'm too late to the game. Time is ticking away. I was right in terms of the direction. Denard. To be honest, when I entered that, the context for it wasn't great. I think it was around where the price was around here, when the price was still fundamentally moving up. But I think I shorted tentatively based on some pretty strong drifting on one of the other ones. I'll need to watch back to see why that was. I could have left this in, but I just felt I was wrong in terms of what the market done after I entered. It started going up and hitting, I think it was fours, before then falling away. So just because overall, you know, the market's gone in what would have been my favor, I'm not unhappy about how I traded that, because the context of it had changed And I wasn't afraid to say that I was wrong, which is what I think you need to be good at if you want to at least make any money off of this, or just be extremely lucky. I don't at all think I'm lucky, so I've got to work on the other side of just working at this until I can get better at making decisions. So time now is 2 o'clock, and I'm constantly wary of potentially over trading. So some of the more experienced traders I've seen, like I've mentioned before, Peter Webb, he is a beast. He actively pushes doing more, participating in more markets, just trading a lot, based on the opportunity being there. Not just trading for trading sake, trading on opportunity. But I feel for me, there's there comes a point where that over trading is can be a problem for me. There's diminishing marginal returns, if you put it in economic terms, because each trade that I do is more damaging than not trading. The more I trade, the more it can be damaging to the capital, which is not what you want. You want to make money, not lose money. Make money. So 5 minutes to the off. Been chatting away. This has been moving, although it's moving on not much volume from what I can see. There's only 2 single digit numbers on the book here. So it's moving, but not
this event will start
with
in
much
5
oomph.
minutes.
How much is matched on
5
this?
minutes.
Well, barely 40 grand with 5 minutes to the off. It's not a great quality market. So yeah, this is busy moving, but no real volume. This is seeing some money on it, which is surprising because it's a second favourite. Looks like it's coming in. See if I can interpret something around this. Alright, I'm going to back this because I'm seeing a drift on this, although the erraticness of those movements is worrying. So I'm going to keep it relatively light. This was at 5s as well, so I'm using that as context of resistance. And I think this approach would probably only be viable because I'm using £2 stakes. If I was using, £100 stakes, because this market's so thin, I don't really think it would be able to absorb it that well. Be putting orders in, they'll be partially matched or not matched at all. So I am wary of that, but yeah, see if can trade this to a profit or at least not a loss. 3 minutes to the off, struggling to get through 5s. So the context of this trade now is this having to break its support, its long-term support of 5s, which you can see in the charts here. If that were to break, then I would anticipate that would be quite an aggressive break to the downside. But it may just hold up and just keep bouncing off it, which doesn't help me. I'm just going to lighten that a bit based on that, the clock ticking down and the context I've just mentioned of that holding as support. This drifting's going to help this potentially break through. It's drifting, but yet nothing on this. That book isn't particularly tight either. It was at 102. 2 minutes left, so I'm looking. It's hit 3s. Does this then have legs to move down, which you'll soon see? It's hit resistance of 3s. It's a breakout of that previous resistance, which was the previous highest high so far. So that does help this story, but money's starting to come in on that side, which doesn't help this position. So I'm just going to try and do a closing trade there. 2 minutes to the off. 4 to 5p greened across the outcomes. But I think, watching this for a bit longer, this could, move towards 4s, but I've got just little time to maneuver around that, and made a profit as well. So next, prochain marché. So we've got, oh god, always do that, reselected the same bloody market. So what have we got? We have got two very, so I'll just talk through what I'm really looking at in terms of what catches my eye when I'm looking at a market, try and go through the steps. Firstly, I'm looking at really, I say firstly, sometimes the order just might be out of whack, but basically things I'm looking at is time, how long to the off. Nearer to the off, the more liquidity is going to be. I'm looking at this one here, how much is matched so far. So ideally you want this to be like 30 to 40 grand. 20 grand, this is probably going to be a low quality race, but ideally this upwards of 30 to 40 grand with less than 10 minutes is going to be a decent amount matched. So that's what I'm looking at. Then kind of looking at the selections. The charts are really the first things I'd probably look at, just to see if there's any discernible trends on these, because I'm trying to jump on the back of a trend, and I'd be looking for, I guess, any inverse relationship between them. So if one's going up, is the other one going down? These are the two that the two favorites would be the ones that get most of my attention, simply because those are where most of the money gets matched. And just having a quick overview for any areas of support or resistance there might be. The reason areas of support or resistance are important is because those are areas where the market has kind of a memory. Resistance is a ceiling that the price has a trouble moving much higher than. Support is a floor that it has trouble moving lower than. So knowing that means that as it approaches those levels of resistance, being the ceiling, if it breaks through that, then there's typically going to be aggressive move higher, and then it might retrace to come and find support off of that. And then the other side of that is seeing support in the market. If the price breaks through support, again, be looking for an aggressive move lower, and then it pulling back potentially to find resistance. But yeah, that is in terms of what I can. So those ideas of support and resistance, what I might see in the charts in terms of price, just where the points might be matching up. Like I'm in my mind drawing an invisible line across the tops there, and then I'd look, I guess, to what the volumes be matched here in the price, because that concept of support and resistance in chart is also visible in the book, because you'll see areas where there's been volumes matched but the price hasn't moved lower than, or there's been substantial amounts of volume matched at a certain level. So for this one it's 4s, which you can see here, this imaginary line going across here, this 4 has been support in terms of where the chart is, because it's come down into it and it's not moved much lower. So yeah, those are some of the things that I'm looking at, and the actual crossover points as well. So psych levels, as I call them, psychological levels, round numbers, 2s, 3s, 4s. The price is typically going to react at those types of levels. Stop chatting shit and look at the markets here. So this is starting to move away. It looks like these charts are lagging because that moved. There we go. It's only just come in and it's hit resistance there. So I could potentially just short this and look for this to move down lower, but that's not my approach. I'm looking for trends, ideally, that I can jump on the back of. 10 minutes, 12 minutes the off. I'm pretty sure that my video bloody stopped for a bit, so I might have to stitch these together. My intention at the moment as well is just to make these available on Twitch and then just upload them to YouTube as well. But yeah, looking to do this daily for as long as possible to record them. It's a waiting game. So this is, as I said, it was hit resistance there. It's come back down. It's finding support now at the previous lows that it was done. So this, if you look at this market, it's just very sideways. It hasn't moved much lower than this level, 4s, and it hasn't moved much higher than 5s. So this has been its range for a long time. And you could actually just trade that knowledge, but I prefer not to, because it's gonna, there's a good likelihood that as volume comes in, especially with this close to the off, that it's going to break either support or resistance, and then there's no context for me knowing which way that could be. If I were to just trade that channel, trade the upside and the upper edge and the lower edge. So I'm trying to, if you'd listen to what I'm thinking through, the thought that I'm vocalizing when I'm looking at these, it's just really to create a story that adds, create a story that I can trade. And then if it doesn't fit that story, if it doesn't fit that narrative, then just to cut my losses. Nine minutes to the off. 9 minutes. Place your bets. So we've got this going up again, hitting resistance. This is a laggy chart because I can see already it's happened and it hasn't reflected in the chart yet. And I think it's only it should be only a 5-second lag. That's breaking resistance on this. There you go. But this is also going up. What's coming in? Just going to sit on my hands, metaphorically, i.e. not do anything for now. I want a clearer opportunity to present itself. This has also been very, you can see these colors or these numbers across here represent the matched volume. So this has been where most of them, between 4 and 4.2, is when the brunt of the money has been matched. And the orange is the historical volume and the pink is the most recent, in case you're interested. Probably not, but hey. 8 minutes to the off. Money coming in. Feels like, at least. Now, is it going to break 4s? It has broken 4s. Actually, going to scratch that. The reason I scratched that is because I didn't feel that was, and I'm re-entering, because at the time I entered that, it was still within that range. So it hadn't shown any discernible signs of moving lower. So I felt less confidence. But then it did persist and then pull back. Yeah, cool foot shoot 82. We'll message you afterwards, mate. No probs on Whisper. Take care, man. So yeah, just looking out this persistently. This acting as resistance, and the moving lower. And hopefully this to drift. 6 minutes to the off. Got it's not a light position. It's not it's just an average position really, in terms of size. So a light position for me would be using these stakes 2 to 4 pounds in the position. A heavier would be maybe 6 to 8. Five and a half minutes to the off, and £4 net stake in there. Now, is anything drifting? This is continued to drift. This looks like it's come in a bit. Sticky at 4, resistance at 4s.
This event will start in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Willing to hold this. Tempted to increase the position size, but just resisting that for now, at least. Just having a quick peek around at the other. Those are starting to drift. Yep. Could have increased there. But not mad at you. Not mad at you, mate. Do what you do, market. I'm going to do my best around it. This is persisting, so I'm still holding off taking out that last position until I might see some signs of stagnation, which I just felt it could stagnate there. So whether I'm right or wrong, I'm out of the market. Don't need to make any more decisions on that, other than to green up profit. It has continued down, so it looks like it could have been early on taking that decision, but hey, profit is a profit. And that's why I think these videos are useful, because I mean, a more experienced trader would probably stay in that. May have made the same decision, I don't know, but at least I've got a way to look back on what went right, what went wrong. And I encourage you to do the same. Just record yourself, talk to yourself. I mean, I find this useful, even if no one else does. Just talk through the thought process. It's about accountability. It's how you manage accountability, whether that's talking to someone else or having someone else that you're accountable to, or I don't know, keeping a journal, like whatever, because it is a business really. If you look at it that approach, I think you've got a much better chance of making a viable income in the long run if you treat it like a business. In a business, you're accountable to your employees, your customers or clients. You've just got to maintain that discipline. And that's what I'm trying to build here, is discipline really. And I am conscious of fatigue as well. I don't want to trade these markets until I am making bad decisions. Yeah, unfortunately I'm not good enough to be making profit consistently. So whereas with most this is the counterintuitive thing about trading, in fact. Like, whereas most things I would just push myself until, you know, as long as it takes, in terms of, I don't know, reading up on something or studying something until you understand it inside out and, you know, you're good at it. With this, more work does not really equate to more progress. So trading more is not going to make you better, if that makes sense. So feeling yes, just more the analogy I always use is a bike that's in gear and out of gear. So more movement does not equate to progress. So if you've got a bike that's in a very high gear and you're pedaling away on flat ground, then you're putting a lot of energy in to make a reasonably short amount of distance. Whereas if you've got it in gear, then you're moving more efficiently, you're pedaling, and you're not pedaling as much, but it's a more efficient use of energy and your time to get to your destination. So that's one of the ways I look at it. It's just don't trade too much, because it can be detrimental, and it's just a lot of energy to make not very much progress. But yeah, when you know your shit and you've got proven success, then that's when, you know, do as many fucking hours as you want. Trade all day and night if you can make success of it. Well, we got 10 minutes to the off. Seen some movement here that had some money behind it, but wasn't really prepared for it. This is moving, but on pretty thin money. This isn't moving, although it's at the top of its range. Has drifted, hit resistance at previous prices here where it is now, 6.2. This has come in, but pulling out again. Pulling out. Ah, bloody child. So this has got some decent money coming in, but just waiting to see if it's a bit more readable. By that I mean this persisting with more money coming on this side to push this in. Plus this has been quite a deep retrace, potential reversal. So I'm just hesitant to short this, although threes could act as resistance. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in a short or a back order at the market. Well, it's not market price, but just outside market price on the touch at the front of the queue on this. So that's got taken, hoping the threes will act as resistance, and this will continue to drift, break its resistance, move higher above sixes. Just have to play it smart on this one. Not even smart, because I don't know what's going to happen. Play it as I see it. And I've got a feeling I'm going to look through the videos that I could be cutting my losses earlier on these. The ones that go against me adversely. Might be just waiting too long in anticipation that the market's going to do something that it has a very unlikely chance of doing. So just added to that position and adjusted my profit targets slightly. There's nothing persistently drifting, is there? I'm just gonna take a bit of a profit there and wait, reassess. This might pull back, allow me to enter again. 6 minutes to the off. I mean, I could have held that, but I think that might have been some of the mistakes that I made before. Again, video is going to help me confirm that or not. But I could have held that position with nothing convincingly coming in to tell me like that story would continue to move down. So at least now I've exited and I can re-enter should the price, give me another opportunity, but without the added risk of having that open position and seeing that profit evaporate or loss increase. Just bring up my similar look off screen now that I'm flat. Kind of just avert my gaze to other things. So what was this? 2:30. All right, they've all settled. So, just gonna, I'm gonna green up on this. I'm gonna give myself a bit more time on the next race.
5 minutes. 5 minutes.
If it's good enough quality. Ugh, this is the type of shit I'm talking about. 12 grand matched with. This is a poor quality race, right? So this is 12 grand matched with 10 minutes to the off. You can just feel it in this market. There's more. It's just not much. You can see it in the charts as well. If you look at the other charts or on a decent quality selection, it's just going to be bolder, the actual color of the red line, because there's going to be more contact points. It's going to be more dense. These just look really thin and less contact points. I mean, when you see this, when it's just like almost straight lines joined together, that's a sign of which you'd expect on a high priced odds. It's going to be lower quality. So I'm probably not going to trade that, and I'm contemplating calling it a day. I'm just going to assess what's going on. So this is 30 grand, so that's much better. So look, this is, oh wow, those are quite closely matched, aren't they? It's unusual to have two so close together. But this is 30 grand match, which is better than 12 grand match with 13 minutes to the off. All right, so far today I have, let's go over the profit and loss, shall we? 29p started at 12:30 p.m. came in with a 29p win, then on to a 5p win. Next we had a 26p loss, a 33p loss, a 32p loss, a 13 pence loss. So that's 4 losses in a row. Then 9p profit, 9p profit, 4p profit, and most recently that would be a 25p profit. So that brings me more or less to about 23p down on the day. So, and I have to be, although I've just done a quick peek at the P&L there, it's just important not to be swayed either way with how the day's done, because I could be thinking now, right, I've got to make back that losses. It's like 20, whatever I said, 24, 23p, or whatever the amount. is that I'm down on initially what I started with. I've got to make that. I've got to make that back. But that chasing is just, yeah, man, that's going to be the downfall. So it's more about stepping back and thinking, right, do I feel okay trading another position? Yeah. Am I going to make sure that I, continue to trade well? I'll try to. And then if that changes, then, stop. So I'm contemplating looking at this market here. I think I'm probably going to make this the last trade of the day. I'm not trying to push anything. It's just it's not the day-to-day profit or loss that really makes it. It's the cumulative, over a long period of time, that's more important than the next race or just today. Just having a longer term view to it. And I think that's the biggest thing that's helped, at least in terms of discipline of trading, that's helped. There's no deadline in terms of the success. And when you think in terms of, right, there's an infinite amount of time that I have, as long as these betting exchanges are still open, can still trade, then it takes a lot of the pressure off. So yeah, it's just my thoughts. So let's do some analysis on what's going on. This is come in very rangy for a long time, hitting resistance around, I'm guessing at 325. Yeah. So what I'd done there is I saw that this was at 325. There's a massive amount of volume there, and just guessed that because this had hit that so many times, that was probably where that resistance was. But yeah, it's been quite rangy for a time. It broke out through that support and moved lower. It's pulled back slightly, and now very rangy again. It looks like it's finding support around threes. So a break of threes might be interesting to short, or build up of money as it approaches threes could be interesting to me. This finding looks like it's been finding support off of five, so this moving higher is obviously of interest, and that support sustaining would be useful at these types of levels if I were to short this. 9 minutes the off. This moving out could help this. I'm going to put a tentative, nice and light, nice and easy, just above threes here, in the anticipation this could move lower. It's a bit of a punt, but I'm going in nice and light. Okay, so it's gone down. It's broken freeze now. I'm gonna put another tentative order just to get a better match, ideally, than going in at market. So if I click on this, it's just going to go at the available price, right? 2.98. Here, at least I'm getting a slightly better price by leaving this in the market. Oh, it feels so sticky though. It's a bit sticky still. I missed it. Could have gone in at market. Am I seeing persistent moves elsewhere? Not really. But I'm gonna take that, leave these in there. Should it move back up, at least gives me a decent position. No, so this has started to come in, but I'm going to leave these here. Got 25 to go before I get matched on this, so I'm front of the queue basically on that. So that's why I've left it in there should it go back up into it. What I might then do is just try to steal a tick. So it got matched on that. Wait, hang on. What did I get? 298. So I've got matched on 2, still got another one in there. So this is increasing the position. So it's gone in heavier. Basically putting a partial exit quite near. So this is a slightly more risky approach because I'm just trying to steal a tick really here. Because I'm still happy with the overall direction. But I feel overall the position might be a bit too heavy to what I'm trying to say, like it could, there's enough chance of it at least moving down a tick to try at least attempt to steal a tick, but not necessarily move convincingly much lower, at least in the interim, because overall I'm anticipating it will move lower, but I'm not sure on how much and how far. But let me just shut up and focus. So this is approaching 5s, which could find support, but it has also been coming in, which is worrying for this position. If that breaks 5s, then I'm probably going to be fucked on this. But if it bounces, that will help this. Move much, move lower. So at the corner of my eye, I'm just trying to keep an eye on this as well.
This event will start
34
in 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
In the queue here, so I'm near the front on this, but there is money building in front. 5 minutes to the off. What do you do? What would you do? So the dynamic of this is slightly changing as time progresses. This has come in, but finding support. Oh, that's drifting. That's nice. That's a nice. This should hopefully pull this in. Come on. No, didn't see it. Scheiße. Merde. So four minutes to go. No discernible moves as of yet. If anything, this has drifted in recent times. Relatively medium-sized position on. No signs of this drifting. This one looks like it could be moving in. This one's moving out. But yeah, I need to see this come in. I might need to scratch, at least lighten this position. I wasn't able to steal that tick that I was aiming to. In fact, the position is going against me, but not panicking. Yeah, look at this. See, I've got a sense I might need to act earlier on these whilst the position's still in my favour. This is coming in strongly. And losses. So yeah, this is one of the things I knew from the outset, that taking a bigger position size was a riskier. Just trying to steal that tick can come back to bite you in the arse. Now for me to get out on this, I've got 2 minutes. There was opportunity to get out at a lower loss. Got 2 minutes to the off, and the price running away on me, and effectively would need to see a reversal in price in order to to exit. Some pressure coming down now. So just not panicking too much. Not panicking at all, really. Just observing what's going on. Trying to anticipate what I know, about what the market could do. I never know what exactly it's going to do. Of course I don't. Fucking clairvoyant. I ain't Nostradamus. So this has persisted to move down. Now I could take my position out now at the given market, but it's just there's a bit of momentum behind this, so that's why I'm willing to keep it in. Okay, being able to, if that breaks freeze.
This event will start in 60 seconds.
Okay,
60 seconds.
That's the sign to get the fuck out. So I'm just going to lighten this to 2%, £2 net stake, and just because there was a bit of momentum behind that, and it was approaching freeze with a bit of ferocity.
This event starts in 30 seconds. In 30 seconds.
I decided to leave that in because I felt the way that was moving, and it was approaching freeze, it could move through it. But I protected, I took the step to protect capital there and got out partial exit slightly earlier and left something in for that move that I was anticipating. But yeah, I mean, I was able to manage that. Again, another small loss, which could have been a lot bigger. I mean, I need to really look back on this because, the losses running there were over £1 at one point. But didn't do anything too rash, and it did fortunately come back in my favour. But I have a sense I need to be cutting those losses maybe a bit earlier, just a tad earlier. That puts me on the day. What's my P&L? It's about 20p down on the day. All right. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I mean, it's a loss on the day, but it's important thing for me at the moment is just to focus on the strike rate and just stick to the rule of not letting things go and play, which I've been able to do so far. But yeah, I'll leave it at that for today and be back tomorrow.